good afternoon, or whatever time of day it is to anyone watching this. I've been wanting to do some YouTube or streamed Vintage Story for a while, and now's the time I'm finally going to do a bit more of that. I thought about making a new world, but I already have a few worlds running and I don't exactly want to add to that, and I realized that this world here, my most recent one I've been working on, I found a really cool place over here, super sick grotto. To be honest, I'm pretty convinced some of the generation down there is bugged and it should not look like that, but I will not complain because it's really cool. So yeah, the plan is I'm going to... That's nice. I'm gonna pack up most of my valuables here and move down there. I'm definitely gonna keep both bases going because I like this area as well. I've got a really neat little enclosed valley here, right next to this big mountain. And also, like, the ores around here are crazy. I've got ultra high spherolite, ultra high native copper, so that's zinc and copper. I've got ultra high pentlandite, which is nickel. I have ultra high bismuthinite, and ultra high cassiterite, and again ultra high native copper down here. Like, that is all of the early game resources. Like, sure, no iron, no coal, which coal is really hurting me right now. But to have ultra high of copper, tin, and zinc, and nickel to boot, like, that's really good. I like that. So this area is still great, even if I am unfortunately a hunter, so I don't get the most out of those resources, but it's still pretty good. So yeah, packing up now, and we'll see how it goes. Alrighty, I was just checking on making sure I could actually check my chat there, which is definitely important. That stuff's gonna rot. Expected. The sad thing about being a hunter is I can produce way more food than I can eat. And meat is one of the worst things at being preserved. So I'll do a quick tour of this area as I work on figuring out what I want to take with me. Berries. I really shouldn't be harvesting berries. I can hardly eat the food I have, but it's here. So, ye old massive red clay deposit, which I've only made it a small chunk through. Over here is a very ripe wheat field. So I've got a bunch of crops here, mostly grains. Spelt. I don't have rye because it actually gets too hot here. But some flax, it's almost done. Some of it is getting done. And then some other vegetables, but not near as many. I've already gotten a first harvest on some of them. But I had to put this fence up because stuff kept eating my crops, and they still do, but it's a little bit less bad now. You see all the ones that I had to replant. And I also got lucky enough to trap a fox here. I don't know if it actually helps, but I have heard that trapping a fox can be good because it will scare away bunnies who do not want to get eaten by the fox. So I've got him. Maybe he helps, maybe he doesn't, but either way he is permanently stuck in that little box there. Now the way I started out this world is that I ran around for a while just looking for a cool place to settle. Like, I spawned all the way... Oh, I think I used like a pretty big random respawn radius, so I spawned over here, wandered across half the world before I found this spot and decided I wanted to settle there. But in that whole time I was collecting seeds. Like, I feel like a full third of my inventory ended up being seeds, and I had all linen sacks by the end of that journey, because linen's so easy to get in the early game. Like, well, not actually that easy, but if you're harvesting all the flax you find, you get a fair amount of that. You can buy stuff from traders as well, and then sometimes you get really lucky with cracked vessels, and they'll just drop a ton. Now, admittedly, it would be good to have a scythe for this, but I think I have a scythe. I just never think about using it for crops, because normally I have a fairly small field, This is not true in this world. I have a huge field, which partly I can do because I did so much time foraging for seeds at the start, but you also have to do it a lot more than you used to because they've halved the output but doubled the occurrence rate for the grains, which I think is a good change. You could get a lot done with a very small field before, and now you actually have to make a pretty big sprawling field if you want to get high output. But that definitely makes a scythe more necessary. I really should just wait for this all to finish up, but whatever. Okay, I'll probably try and plan to make my final departure once most of this flax is done. Now it is August. I could probably get one more harvest in before the winter, but it might depend partly what crops I go for. I'm gonna need a crate downstairs, I think, if I can find where I store my crates. That's the bad thing. Like, I took a little bit of time off from this world, and now I'm like, okay, well, where the heck is everything stored? So here's the seeds. I know that. Again, yeah, look at the quantity of seeds. It's crazy. Just how many you get, if you know how to look for them. That's the big thing. You have to know what seeds look like, but as soon as you've trained your mind's, like, object recognition, it gets crazy quick. 3 servings of hefty red meat stew fresh for 6 hours. No way I get to eat all them. If you can't tell, this was an existing ruin that came with the place. What do I just have? One of these. Let me go ahead and clay form some new oil lamps, because I'm definitely going to need a lot of lighting. Because the new place is partly underground. It's pretty cool. Now there is a perfectly ideal block placement order for every clay forming item. I kind of bungled that one. Oh, I really bungled that one. I don't want a Hellhammer mold. How do I get rid of that? I think... Will it refund me? I don't think it did, but oh well. So with this one, that pixel's your tough one, because you gotta keep him. So I think your best method is to do like this, go around. Using the 3x3 lets you be less picky about managing the right speed. Oh, I really bungled. Oh, really bungled that one. Now, yeah, you can do it all with the 3x3. It's generally a bad idea too, because you end up with silliness like this. So you can do it. It's just like, why would you want to, you know? But I think the best, so you start with the 3x3, you go around, then on the second layer, you don't want to do that. I keep doing that. Hang on. You very deliberately stay in the middle, then you remove that, then you swap to the 2x2, and then the 1x1. And that's pretty good. And I think that this should be all the oil lamps I really want to make, because I'm going to run out of fat if I were to make more peat. Oh, hi there. Now, you can see I have a mod on. That's the health bars mod. Because when I first started playing this game, I got really irked at, like, beating on some of the harder mobs for a while, and then not knowing if I'd done any damage then. So now I know exactly how much damage I've done. Ah! I don't like that guy. I do not like that guy. And the other mods I've got on this world are better. Whoa! My bad. I've got better ruins, the absolutely mandatory mod if you really like exploration. I've got the quarrying mod, or at least a fork of it, because the main one wasn't updated to this version of the game. Where did I get? Oh. And a couple other minor mods. Honestly, I can't remember exactly what I have. I thought I had some hay stored. It appears I do not. I'll just go outside and cut some. Do, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Do. Over to my pit kiln. Hey there, buddy. Can I set you guys on fire? It's not the most, effective strategy, but you can. If you hit stuff with a torch. Hey, and I'll let them fight each other, too. Come on. I just want to light my pit kiln. Oh, my health is bad. Do I have armor? I have a helmet. I used to have more bear armor, but it got broke. Oh, hello there, buddy. Okay. I'm good at the game. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. What's your favorite? It's only medium activity. I guess it is the middle of the night, yeah. Or the evening anyways. Let me get some sleep. And that'll help me heal as well. I think the sun rises around 4 or 5 here, so I'll try and get out of bed at about that point. Yeah, perfect. Excuse me, sir. You're trying to reach me about my car's extended warranty. Oh, you Botorn, where are you? So much for all that health that I healed during the night. Okay, so continuing the tour. So this is my main building. It's one of those like church-looking ruins that I've cleaned up a bit. I've not done much more stonework aside from the floor. But then I've put a thatched roof on it. And then in the back where it was especially bad, I built up new columns using mud brick instead of granite. And then with a slightly lower... Whoa, buddy. Slightly lower roof. I don't really like how it came down. If I did it again, I'd probably make the building narrower at the back instead of just shorter. Nice. It's a lot of flax, which is good. Bow to an arrow. Now, I am a hunter in this world, so... I should definitely make a bow, because that would help. Wait, I think I did make a bow. Raw? Dry! Huzzah! Okay. I can now make a recurve bow. I will need some raw bushmeat, which I can easily get. I think I've got leather in the works as well. So next time I go hunting, I will have everything I need to make that bow. My partly spoiled stew. Okay, the reason that is on the ground and not being made into something is because... Oh, I need to clear that. So I can render this. I don't totally mind rendering, because at least it requires very little heat and time. But it really hurts you in the early game, because it makes it a lot harder to make pelts, and pelts are a very important early thing. Yeah, a lot of pelts from the early game. Now I should start figuring out what exactly it is I want to bring down south, or yeah, bring southwest with me. Okay. Oh, there is coal. Okay. I might stop by for some coal on the way. I mean, I'm sure I'll want a bunch of tools. Stuff like this that's hard to craft. I'll want my whole oh yeah, right. The tour that I said I was going to do. So, the two, like, inhabited buildings I've got is this big guy and then this one here. This one is still a bit worse for wear. I patched up the walls some. But it's my smithy. I've got a little outdoor area. Which I want to make a bunch of tin, but hey, I am out of black coal. Yeah, little smithy area. Up here I have my rock collection. A bunch of molds and stuff. And then continuing up here I have a quern and or helve setup, which I can swap just with putting a gear in place of the quern. Which, really crude little thing. It's not as high as it could be to get better airspeed, but I really wanted to make use of this building, and I feel like that's a pretty cool way to do it. I don't know why exactly I made the flour when I still don't have a stone bake oven. Or whatever oven. I'm sure I had a good reason. Now there are a couple waterfalls around here if I wanted to make a or rapids around here if I wanted to make a water wheel forge setup. But I'll probably hold on that and hope that I can find a new one in the place down south. Otherwise, though, I wouldn't mind having set up here. But you also need iron for that to be possible. What I'll probably do is oh yeah, Carry On is the other mod I have, one of the other ones, so you can pick up stuff. I'll probably load this guy up with a bunch of good stuff. And then that, plus my inventory, plus the reed basket on a canoe, should get me most of my most valuables. I might also try and wait till I have some leather done to soak tides. Time to go scrape you. And I'll put you in the 12 liters of wheat over here. Oh, it'll be 3.5 more days. The leather might have to wait till I wait for a return trip. But yeah, this little building I'm using is a tannery for now. It's got a basement as well I've yet to try and make use of. I planned on making this into like a little house, but I didn't get any further than placing my 5 tan wattle and daub that I had. Mostly just generic seeds in here. The only kind of special ones are sunflowers, which I haven't planted. They take 15 days. Honestly, if I should probably get these guys planted if I want to get a harvest in. And I might plant the parsnips too, just to get them out of my storage. Woo. Oh yeah, the flax is coming in good now. Okay, this stuff is only K. These look good down here. I maybe should have put this further away from an edge where the stuff might eat it, but oh well. There's not too many critters about in this plane. Is there seriously just flax seeds here? Yeah. You know what I said about having to be good at the pattern recognition to find crops? I usually consider myself good at it, but it's so easy to overlook, even right next to your house. Oh, there's a fox. If I wanted, I could trap him too. I probably will try and do that. Because then if I can protect this edge, then that'll be most of the worst spots protected. Now for that, I need some stone wall, which are in here. You may wonder why I have quite so many stone wall. The reason is it's a way to compact stones. So you can craft stone wall with just 6 granite stone. So if your inventory is full of granite stones for some reason, like the fact that you are hoarding stone because you never use them, if your inventory is full of them, then you can actually compact them down effectively, and then you can carry back a lot more stuff. That only really works if you know that you're going to use them, because you can't like uncraft them once you've made it into dry stone wall. I want to be careful I don't get so close that he can... Booyah. Okay. Fox acquired. So, now the 2 western ends of my farm are now protected from small animals. Now, I don't think a fox will scare away a deer, which I do sometimes get here, but they'll keep the bunnies away, which is excellent. Now, I honestly might be getting close to having enough flax to make a boat if I wanted to, which I might run a quick estimate to see if that's practical. If so, that'll be an even better way to transport stuff between my 2 locations. Neither of them is exactly on the water, but they're both kind of close. I'd be going from here to here. So, good bit of water journey, good bit of overland too. Now let's see, I think it's 8 days a month, and we're in the 4th of August, so August, September, October. Yeah, we should still be above 0 in October, so I should be able to plant most crops and get a harvest. Given that all this soil is well irrigated, that helps the growth speeds. I'll probably plan everything out just before I leave. Or once the harvest is fully done. I know many a vintage story player would be jealous of the size of my flax field. You too can have a flax field this size if you just spend like 10 hours straight wandering through the world collecting wild flax seeds. Let's see, how rotted are these? Oh, they're actually fresh. Interesting. Because the bowl I got them from was starting to go bad. Oh well, I will not complain. Now, ground storage is cool. I'm probably past the point where I should be using it this much because I've got plenty of storage, but you know how it is. Oh yeah, that's a lot. Okay. Let me look at the boat. And I'm now immediately going to fill this up again. Lovely. Oh well, overflow in there. Nice. 32 whole linen. That would be enough for another sail, and not quite a half, a full sail. Windmill sail, that is. My pit kiln's done yet? No, 2 of them started earlier. Yeah, they're all done. This is probably going to be more than I have fat to work with, definitely. Which means I need more hunting, which means I'll collect a lot of food I cannot use, but oh well. The hides are good for leather, and the fat is certainly vital for oil lamps. Let me put these guys with that torch holder, because that's my lighting solution. I'll let that stuff rot intentionally. Oh, I do have pumpkin seeds. Which should not be that bad, so that's a lot of potential native copper, or sorry, potential bronze. However, I know for a fact that 6 black coal is not going to be enough for that. And I would like to have a new pickaxe before I set out, because that one will not last long. So let me cut that down. It's risky, because if I run out of coal, the whole batch is useless. Now, there's brown coal, but it's quite a ways away. You know, just for fun, let me do a relatively short exploration journey. This way, because I've not really been very far that way. And I'll collect some coal on my way back. And it'll be a good time. Torch is up there. Surely this is a fine arrangement of tools and resources. Medium reflectivity. I'll be fine. Hey, oh! Now there's actually going to be so much forage that I can get heading this way, so I'm not too worried about that. This is probably an overkill amount of food, but it's going to spoil if I don't eat it, so I'll bring it. Yeah, see what I mean about forage? Normally, if I'm traveling and it's not the winter, I feel like there is no reason to bring food, unless you know that you're going to like an Arctic or desert place. Because the world is made out of berries and vegetables and mushrooms and everything. Ooh. Now, I'd love to develop an actual path around this way. If only to remember the best way through. But I think, yeah, it's this little circuitous route here. There's one of these both ways. There's this one through here, and then around here there's a neat little path that gets you away from some of the rougher foothills. And then there's a big plateau on this side that's just sand. Sand and gravel. 6 cranberries from that one, my goodness. Yeah, I mean, if I collect every berry bush on this route, my inventory will fill with berries, and will fill with seeds and vegetables and everything else. Nothing bad ever happened to people who just went down every cave they saw, right? And nothing. But that's fine, because I'm here for prospecting, actually. 1, 2, 3, this guy. Now, fun fact, if you're precise with it, you can start with your regular pickaxe, which mines quicker, and then swap to your pro pick, which mines slower. And you'll still get the prospecting result without putting any durability on the regular pickaxe. So, minuscule emerald only. That really surprised me, because there's so much of other resources here. I think I've yet to prospect in a spot and not find... I mean, there's a couple spots that only have poor stuff, but still, like, so much high, ultra high, very high. Which is not a normal experience. I don't even have boosted ores or anything in this world. Although, unless they change it, I think that the copper, yum. I'm pretty sure pro picks read the same thing. Give you the same exact results, whether you have boosted ores or not in the world. Like, you can generate a world with the same seed, and the only difference is, like, the ore quantity. And I believe that you get the same pro pick readings in every spot, but there actually are more ores in the world that has the boosted ore percentage. Now, what I mentioned earlier about knowing what to look for. Behold flax. And there's a second one right over here. And I think onion's over there. The very first world I played, I missed so many of the wild crops. Like, I found nothing. I was like, man, it's really hard to get food. And then all it took was like that one world, and I managed to train my pattern recognition. And ever since then, like, hardly any issues finding stuff. I really don't need to do this. I have so much meat spoiling, and I'm gonna get even more meat that spoils, but like, monkey see resource, monkey harvest resource, you know? I can't help myself. And so much freaking flax. Like, I must, like, there's definitely peak latitude, certain latitudes where you find a ton of stuff, and certain biomes too. So like, plains, you find a ton of resources. I think if you go like south slightly, which I've definitely gone south, like I'm at 6,000 blocks south, you definitely start to see increased drops. Or not really drops, but increased. Ooh, oh yeah. There are some really deep water features since in the latest update, I think. And we're gonna see a lot of this at that new home location I've been talking about. Like, look at this. You can... Like, this is like some Minecraft caves and cliffs kind of cave gym. Like how some rivers will just suddenly not have a bottom, and they open up into massive aquifers. It's really cool. Hey there, buddy. You know, maybe I should harvest... kill those guys for the bush meat. Maybe on the way back if I've got inventory space. Are those like Liberty Caps? Those the new mushrooms? Nope, gold drop, no caps. Edible, but slightly poisonous, if I remember correctly. Now, looking at the map for this area, I need to be careful about how I plot my route, because we've got these huge, not really huge, but these moderate-sized north-south ridgelines that are going to make it really painful to traverse if I'm not planning my route at least slightly in advance. Ah, I think we're past it. Hey, some spelt. Again, I am never going to be able to plant every seed I have, and if I do, it'll be at the point where I've already farmed even more seeds, so like there's no reason to keep doing this, but I don't know. I'm at least somewhat OCD, and my compulsion is collecting seeds. Oh, these are starting to spoil now. Now, I think this world didn't actually start out with better ruins on it. Ooh. Hog. Which means it'll only be in new areas that I find the better ruins. This is like a sinister sky color. This is like if I lived a little bit further north and I was within range of the current wildfires that are ravaging Canada. Like, that's what the sky would probably look like. And I don't know why it looks like that. I mean, it is getting dark. It's 7 p.m., but I'm not used to seeing that kind of darkness. Hey, don't kill that poor guy. Is what I would say if I could actually hit you. Whoa. I'm used to, in the multiplayer server world I'm playing, I'm a malefactor. That's like my usual class. And like 25% less range versus 25% more range is crazy. Like, you have to fire at like this height to hit something 15 meters away from you. Now, normally, if you have as much food as I do, you wouldn't even bother to keep my offhand clear, because when you have something in your offhand, your hunger rate goes up 20%. Which, yeah, I really don't need to worry about it, but again, like, I've gotten good at optimizing, and so I'm very diligent about keeping my offhand empty to save food. And then it's like, why do I need to do that when I have so much food? Now I will say, my ability to find seeds is drastically worse at night. Is that fennel? I think that is fennel there. Ability to do anything is worse at night. But I can still see, I think, some of them as like little lighter icons. Oh no, that's mugwort. You know, I did say that I'd be here to pack up, but oh well. My desire to explore is insatiable. That's fennel over there. I think jumping only marginally increases your running rate in Vintage Story. But I like to do it, especially at night, just to get better views of things in the distance. I feel like my field of view is small. I'm pretty sure it's default 75. Let me increase it slightly. I don't like looking at the ground and not being able to see anything up at all. More fennel? Yeah. I mean, I might as well harvest some. Oh, you can actually eat it. Okay, it's not a very good vegetable, but you can eat it. But I know it's best for, Hey, oh! Oi, spear, hello. Bro, I need to get running. Doodaloo. Oh, but there's so much plants here. My greed. I heard him. I think he's over here, so I should not be going this way, but I want the fennel. Now, if you're familiar with the new update, you'll see some fennel here, which I could totally harvest, but I don't really want to do any of the stuff with that. I don't want to do fishing, so I've not bothered to do anything with it. Doodaloo. Okay, I should have outrun that boat one. I'm guessing he lost aggro on me by now. Ooh, I might get walnut tree. Turnips are probably the best single food crop in the game because they both have a pretty good cold tolerance and they grow really quickly. So like, if you have not built enough farmland your first year and you're like struggling through the winter, then it is the best thing to plant first come spring. Hey there, buddy. Whoa. And okay, and I'm just dead. That was genuinely a skill issue. I should be more careful. I really should just crafted some armor, even if it's just the really crappy stuff, but... Okay, I am nearly back to my stuff. Ooh, parsnips. One of the rarer ones, and also a very winter tolerant crop. -10 is the best you can get, and it actually doesn't matter too much how far below 0 it goes, because how it works is when the temperature gets below 0, your stuff stops growing, no matter what tolerance it has. It just doesn't die. So all that a heat tolerance below 0 does is it gives you, there's my stuff, it lets you have stuff keep growing for the days when the daily temperature gets above 0, but the nighttime temperature, oh, there's 2 of them? Where's my bags? Why can't I pick up my bags? That's just gonna get me killed. What the heck? And this is what teleporting is for. Because that was just silly. Yeah, like what? Where's my knife? I tried to put my knife in. I have to slot right here. I'm back to pick it up. And there it is. Just is here. My knife was over here. There's that. Let me just try it back. Grab this. Look what's in the bag. This is all. Nice fat. Here's another wolf. Wolf. What about that? Yeah. You guys don't need it much. His name of you guys is Flaps. Wait a minute. It's good. Okay, I get this. Is there a wolf there too? Oh, that's actually really these things do not be nice on your video. Okay. I don't want to fight, man. Just let me free. I have it. You're not even free. I did it from my video. I love seeds. I don't need seeds. I love seeds. And I got it. Okay. I'll sit down here. Okay. Is there a coal mine position? I don't. Do I go to the thermal today? Or will the artist? This is what happened when I go to explore. It's just like, oh, seeds. Oh, seeds, 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 seeds. Water flax. Water flax. Would not be... Oh, I was about to say, this would not be a bad place for a castle. What is that? Better ruins? Popping off? Is that rye? Yeah, I don't really care to have rye grain in my inventory. That is a massive ruin. That is a massive quantity of stuff. I don't think I've ever ruined that before. There's a number of castles in there. I don't know. It's taller than the one where what's the ruins? So, no, previous day, I'll give it a generation day. Keep and surrounding village. That's true. Now I've got 2 icons I use for ruins, or I guess 3. The first one is a black ruins icon for unexplored ruins, and then a white one for explored ruins that I may want to come back to. And then I can do a gray if it's partly explored, which this big boy, he might get a special color because holy do I want to come back to this one. I'm not going to explore it now because I'm not equipped for it in terms of inventory space or protection, like armor. And again, this is a slightly exploration, mainly coal mining expedition. I was like, oh, I could get a tad bit of exploration in on the side on my way to the coal mine. Here I am. The coal is down here, I'm up here. I think I will not easily forget this place. I'll give it the regular unexplored icon. But let me dip my head in. Just a little bit. This is so cool with how it's affected by the generation. Oh, well. Somewhat less cool than it could have been. I could just regenerate all of those chunks, then find out what structure identity that thing is. And then spawn it in those chunks. That might be the best approach. If I fully want to restore it, as opposed to dealing with the chunk error. Sucks, the only big structure I've found, the generation is messed up on. What are you doing here? Threads. I will go down here. Okay, nothing. I knew there's a good chance of that. Oh well, though. You know, if my inventory wasn't totally full, I'd show you what I call the lantern trick. Wait, I can still do that. Where if you want to get up a too high thing, lantern. You can, even if you're really skilled, use it to scale a sheer wall. So like a lantern. Now, it doesn't really matter if you've got rope ladders in your inventory, but if you don't have rope ladders, you gotta be good though. This is a trick the devs don't want you to know about. Oh, that's a cool little grotto. This, oh, that is actually a really cool little spot. I love this kind of generation here. Like, I don't think it's very realistic, but I do like how Vintage Story does, like, little stepped terrain. Like, this is peak starter base location here. Genuinely. Like, you could do so much with this. You've got a fortifiable interest. I'm gonna mark this. This is a cute grotto. And I wouldn't have even seen this if I hadn't gone up to show off my lantern jumping skills. Also use it to decrease your fall damage slightly. Now, you can obviously also just place blocks to climb, or mine blocks. But for whatever reasons, I'm always very picky about how I alter the world, and I never want to leave griefing, even if I know that, like, it's not really bad, I'm never going to visit that spot again. I still don't like to do it. I am out of room for spell seeds and flax seeds. This is crazy. What am I going to do? I'll eat the rye grain. Who even likes rye? I'm really not going to have room for the coal at this rate. How close am I? I gotta get past this, and then I will be there. Honestly, hang on a minute. If I'm going to here, I'm already closer to my destination. I might just drop this stuff off there. Which is not as well organized of an exodus as I had planned, but it will still be effective, and it will also give a chance to put eyes on our destination before we get there. Wait. Oh, no. Oh, that's right. I'm not full on flax seeds. I've already started a second stack, and it's at 54. Yikes. Getting close to flax fibers as well, for full stack. I might place down my chest again and see exactly what I've got in there. I don't suspect I can. No, not a single mergeable thing is in here. Which I think is why I put those things in this in the first place, whenever I got this chest of loot, like, 6 years ago. I don't even know when. I did not realize I had it on me when I departed. I do like being slightly south of spawn because you start to get the redwoods, even if like, just like a single redwood adds such a nice little bit of extra ambiance. Now I might start looking for resin while I'm through here. I don't like have an imminent need for it, but resin is always good to have. Especially because I like the mechanical stuff and you end up needing a lot of resin for that. Pretty sure you need at least a resin for every pair of gears. You need a lot of resin for the big gears. You need it for a lot of the individual stuff like the windmill rotor and whatever. Those kind of hills are kind of neat, but I never feel like doing anything with them because you've got such little space on those little steps. And they tend to rise, I feel like, too sheerly to be of actual use for building on the side of. That's a cool mountain. Hey, trader. Excuse me, Mr. Trader. Oh, he's got a torch holder. Nice to meet you. Furniture trader. Ooh, that is a cool name. Alas, I have no ears. Nice to meet you. If I was smart, I would color code traders instead of just making them all pink or black, but oh well. The other side of this is where that coal is. Okay, hang on. I will go to my destination down here, and then I'll get the copper on, or the coal on the way back. Yeah, that sounds good. Have I? I've not circumnavigated the space, so I'll go around the long way. Beehive, booyah. This is good news. I knew I heard something. This is good news. That might be my no, I've got 2 beehives up there. Oh well. Having one closer to this location is great, though. I do not want to keep going this way, believe it or not. Let me get some appropriate greetings going, because I do not know what this kind of region has. Very high spherolite, that is good. Zinc. Ooh, is that right? That is a neat mountain. I hadn't really fully appreciated that. You're welcome, bunny. I just saved your life. And my guy's put on water. So, this will have no negative impact on forms. Hey, you move slightly. Hey, help me out. And water. I was holding shift. Oh boy. Alright, if I'm down here, I might as well look further forward. Rift activity calm. Okay. There are a lot of underground ruins that can offer pretty cool and unique loot. So when I get the chance, I do like to explore underground. And when the rift activity is calm, the risk to your health and safety is actually pretty low. And they let you get some prospecting done. There, over to here. High spherolite again. Which I would have preferred just a new kind of ore node, but I won't complain. And because this is a very long cave, I get to do a second reading. And my cat is shoving her head into my hand because she wants pets. Baby. High spherolite again, but lower, so I know the peak spherolite's probably over in this way somewhere. Okay. Now you could totally use the lantern trick for this, but rope ladders are way more effective and less likely to go wrong and have me plummet to my death if I misclick. Aw, she's purring now. Okay, due south is where I want to go now. I could hug the coast, but there's not really a reason to. Carrots I'm gonna do. So what kind of carrots? Carrots are K. I feel like T might be the one that I tend to want more of. Because K is what flax is. Yeah, K is what flax is, N is what the other grains are. So you can always have a ton of K and N growing. But P, I think P is for parsnips and... Nope, not turnips. Parsnips, I'm sure there's at least one other thing, but... what I said earlier about raccoons having better fat. Yeah. Now the health bars do kind of let me track stuff easier, which is not really an intended feature, but I won't totally complain. Wavy attacks. Now those are definitely hallucinogenic. Ooh, that is a lot of... I'm gonna get away from that guy while he's faking it. Ooh, boars. They might be good hunting later. What are you? Ghost pipe. What is ghost pipe? It's an ingredient for a flower wreath. Interesting. That's cool, though. I don't know if I've not seen that before, just not noted it. I'm gonna go ahead and pin this. Is that more flax I see? Oh boy. And I am at 2 stacks of flax, man. Well, I can finish my berries on doing the spotting. I still got that torch I can throw out. I don't know, at this point I'm just collecting seeds for the flex of it. I'm never gonna use near me like that. Ooh, red clay? I will mark that so I can close my destination. I feel like clay is sometimes kind of hard to come by in the redwood and cypress kind of areas. Is that a... Ew. Oh, he's violent. She, I think, is violent. I think he was, but... I could be wrong. The fact it didn't scare is worrying. Redwoods. We're getting close. I think I need to start gaining altitude. I think I'm gonna start gaining altitude whether I want to or not. Did I? No, I missed that. Alright, now going forward I gotta be kind of careful because there are just little islands of elevated terrain with low terrain between them. It's a cool little spot. Almond mushrooms. It's really good forage around here. Now I know it's very possible to walk down a dead end, even ignoring all the trees that are intruding. I'm probably just gonna fall through if I'm not careful. Booyah. That's just cool. I feel like there's a very high chance for the redwood biomes to generate like this with like a lower and higher level, which is very cool. Here we go. Are you ready for this? I just gotta find the way in. Is it down right here? Or is it more over this way? Like, yeah, I'm holding shift. How did it let me fall there? Now it's letting me... That's the spot I want. I gotta cross over. Oh, is this? This is a good way down. Okay. Behold the grotto. Now, if not for the cave, this would just be any old bit of... oh, okay, this is actually just going in. Nice. If not for the cave, this would just be any old bit of that, like, high-altitude split terrain of, like, lower and higher level, which is all over here. Like, you see this big plateau, and then you drop down where the water is. But with the caves, now you've connected multiple of them, you've got a lot of cool walkthroughs, and a ton of room to connect stuff and start building houses and stuff down here. Oh, that is big. I bet that's just a surface copper deposit. Medium quality. Let me do a tad bit of prospecting and figure out what the prospects are. there? No, it's fine. Oh, it's for very poor native copper. Okay, not the worst. But poor copper means there is some copper. And it means there's probably a very high or ultra high copper somewhere nearby. Okay though, let me start getting unpacked. Up there. Lantern down. Put this chest here. The cooking stuff. We'll put it down on hand. Now, what else does it matter? How chest will be something to storage. We're only going to dump 7 stacks of seeds. Some more sand in there. Start browsing stuff. Unique. Inventory. Sand these things. I'll just before you get back me. Power axe. There's nothing on hand. That's not a lead. You can check this. I'm not seeing there. Alright, and then I'll leave all the seeds. Seeds, fill all these into a flat range, sure, why not? I'll seeds, flat feathers, and so Alright, with my inventory thus cleared, and my base started, let me go and grab that coal. Now yeah, this terrain is super hard to navigate because of those pits. Like, yeah, you can just think you're going a good way, and then, oh, nope, you're totally cut off. So I will need to eventually blaze a trail through here. Because you can get lost, you can get confused, and you can get stuff that sneaks up on you, but you can also get translocators, which is big. Brown coal, that's funny. I mean, it's what I'm here for. Okie dokie. Let me mark this guy. That is 2 points of summon, that's right. That was a calm. Scale of the ground. Calm surface time, calm here. 4 copper and sterilite. Deeper there, and I jump from the sky, which is good, you can head right to that helmet. How do you get more range? I think now they already found it still. Now I need to use that after this, but it's quicker than riders, I think. Yeah. You see, that's why it's good to dive into caves. You can get easy prospecting readings without having to dig a hole into the ground. You can also find ruins, and you can find translocators, which are really cool. I'm gonna keep marking out these potential farm lakes. Now I'm guessing there'll just be ever more of these further north I go, but because I'm out of the split terrain thing, I'm just in like a... Hello, you see, like, what is that? What is that hitbox? Oh yeah, too fat, big. See if I can't find that other one. I'm sure there's somewhere here, but below. I thought they haven't had any poisonous berries, because I don't need to think too hard about what berries I grab. I played on a modded server with some friends once, and they had a mod that included evil berry bushes that killed you, and it was not a great time. Hey, rice grain. Lovely. Sticks, not bad. I did hear wolves. Feathers. And have I filled my inventory again? Oh, silly me, silly me. How predictable. The good news is stones and coal, things I'm likely to get. I already have stats, so I can at least get back a little coal. I got bad news, I want this, but I know I can't store it. You know, it'll be fine. I'm sure I'll walk this route again. Hey there, buddy. Hey, nice. I think I now have enough fat for what I want. This is nice. That's a much bigger cave. With a much better guy in it. Oh, it's sort of a coral, maybe? I know there's some kind of coral reef off the coast of areas I've been to. I think I'm just gonna swim this. Oh, it's so bad not having a raft. I miss playing with primitive survival. The primitive survival raft is so good. I have arrived at the coal, and this is the quality of vein I'm dealing with. Oh boy. This is fine. This is ideal, actually. This is, believe it or not, actually the best way to mine coal. This is how they did it historically. You swim into the water and mine it out of a bare cliff face. Was that more coal down here? Oh, this is oh, okay, this is actually good. Now, why is this the only coal I can find? Come on. Like, I shouldn't complain too much, but, yeah, yikes. I mean, that current's kind of vicious. The currents are really weird in this game, but... And what really sucks is that the reason it's generating like this is because it's matching the terrain height, which is why it's not like a single horizontal beam, or, not beam, but whatever. Which means that there's a ton of brown coal in here, but it's just like embedded in that face, and it's going to be really hard to get to if I want to actually get every bit of the deposit. Which means I won't. I will only be getting the exposed stuff, and I'm hoping I can find better coal veins in the future. Some of this maybe is accessible, but most of it will not be. And I put in my air pocket. No! Oh, and my pick broke, so that will be all of the coal that we're mining today. Still a lot more to be had, certainly, with varying difficulty. But it might... Oh yeah, there's even more down here. Still brown coal. Brown coal there. It will be worth going after, because I really don't have an alternative coal source right now. That stuff brown as well, yeah. Now that black coal I saw earlier is very promising. Because black coal... Oh, this would be so awful. Anyway, black coal is just better. Burns longer and hotter. But you might have noticed that the black coal, underneath it, next to that claystone, had a little bit of fire clay. And fire clay is huge. Because you can make it, but it's a pain and it takes a lot of coal to make. But, if you can just mine it, and that's good. Or dig it, not mine it. Very poor, yeah. I assume it doesn't go anywhere. Because, like, you look at this, there's a chance that it snakes somehow like that, but it's not likely. Like flax in my little home valley again. Oh well, I am home, and I will spare you the unpacking. Oh, my chest is so full. Alright, well, that is where I'll end it for today. Thank you all, and I hope to see you next time, where I'm actually going to leave this place for quite a while and set up down here. Thank you, and goodbye.